In this session, we're going to learn about how to subset your data from your table by using an SQL query in MS Access. Now, say you have a big table in your database, which is your employee database, and all the information is completely scattered in different rows, but not like ours one, which is a pretty sweet 10-row data set. But imagine a huge one, which is going to be a real-time scenario for you. Now, so what if you didn't really want all of the variables and all of the rows in your query's result? Now, from our previous sessions, we have seen that SQL allows us to selectively choose the variables which we want to turn out in our results from a query. But is there a way to selectively select only the specific rows from our table also? Well, it does. And the reason behind using such kind of a query is that in most of the times you would not want whole of the table to be turned up in your query result. And probably that would be like because say in this table you only wanted to know about the salary of say Ravi Gupta, or you wanted the salary of Emma Wilson to come up in your result. So to achieve that kind of a scenario, you're gonna go on to again create up a new query, and you're going to go to query design. And since in this case again we are using the paycheck table, again we're going to add it, and you will see that the query 2 has been automatically created. So just for demonstration purposes, let's just save this query first, and would say that I would say subset query. So okay, this is the button, and you will see it has appeared towards the left side of our this list of entities in our database. So the next thing we're going to try to achieve is that we're going to go on to the SQL view again, because you want to edit this thing, and say in the results of your query you just want the say the results only for George Lucas. So let's say how do we do it? So this is the default query that you will always see when you look into the SQL view. So or the first thing you're going to try to achieve is what are the variables that we need to have in our query result. So the variables are the first name, the last name, and the salary of the individual. So let's just type it. First name, last name, salary. Now this comes the next part. To subset a data set, to subset a table, we these two queries are just not sufficient, and we need to introduce a third clause into this query, which is called the where clause. And to use the where clause, first we need to delete this semicolon which has been presented over here, because it marks the end of the query, and we're going to put it at the end of the query which we're just going to build. And the next clause we're going to use is the where clause. In the where clause, you need to type in the condition that is going to select only those rows which correspond to the rows which you want. So in this case, since we want George Lucas' salary to come up, so we have the condition that the first name of the individual should be George, and the last name of the individual should be Lucas. So let's type it over here. So the way you type it is that you need to type first name, that is a variable, should be equal to, and in quotes it should be equal to George. And the next thing which we are going to see is last name is equal to, again in quotes, Lucas. And then we're going to put up the semicolon which marks the end of this query. And when you will run this query, we expect to have three variables in our result corresponding to the first name as George and last name as Lucas. So go to the design tab and click the run button. So there you go. So now in our query's result, we have only one row corresponding to the value where George was the first name and Lucas was the second name, and correspondingly we have his salary. And if we are fancy, we could have even gone and selected his bonus also, or we could again, like in the previous session, select his monthly salary as month sal. So running this query would again present us with the corresponding values. So there you go. first name, last name, salary, his bonus, and his monthly salary as the results of this query. So in the next session, we're going to discuss about some more advanced ways of querying your data sets using the where class. See you in the next session.